Marv, you know, one of the ways our corner workers communicate with the drivers is by the use of these flags. Of course, Marv, here at the Nelson Ledges Road Course, there's about a dozen corner worker stations out there. Each one of those stations will have the full set of flags that we're showing you right now.
Yeah, the flags are very important. Just like the stop light is when you're driving on the street, these flags can tell you what the conditions are of traffic. The first, most people may well be familiar with, that's the green flag. That means go, the race has started, or you can return to racing speeds after a caution.
And of course, that's my favorite, Marv, the go flag.
Go, go, go.
We like the go flag. Next, of course, we got the yellow flag. And Marv, that can mean a variety of different things. When the corner workers display that yellow flag, actually one of the differences about a road course is you can have a yellow flag condition in just certain parts of the racetrack. So the corner workers, if the safety flag, if the yellow flag is up and the condition is farther on than that station, that corner worker will hold that flag stationary, which tells the driver that they're coming up onto something that's going to be dangerous. But if they're waving it vigorously, that tells the driver that the condition that they're coming up to that's causing that caution is happening really close to where they are, so they need to slow down and be careful. And of course, they're not allowed to pass under any yellow flag conditions. 2 flags displayed at each corner station is going to indicate to the drivers that the entire course is under caution. They're to return to caution speeds and proceed around the racetrack. Well, Marv, let's move right along. This flag right here is an interesting one. Tell us about the red and yellow stripe flag. What does that mean?
The red and yellow stripe flag actually is a courtesy flag for the drivers, and that indicates some kind of slippery condition on the track. Someone might have dropped oil, they may have thrown dirt up on the track. It's just to let the driver know to be a little extra cautious as they go through that turn. Next up, we have the blue flag with the yellow stripe on it.
Well, Marv, that's a flag that we see a lot here, especially in the 24-hour, because we have such a speed difference between some of the cars out there on the racetrack. The blue flag is used by the corner workers to tell the drivers in the slower cars that they have a faster car coming up behind them, and again, use it very similar to that yellow flag. If that flag's being displayed just kind of open, that tells the driver that there's a faster car approaching. If they're waving it vigorously, that tells them you've got a faster car right behind you. You need to move over. Right now, Marv, we'll take a look at some of the video here. We have a section coming out of the carousel where we see that corner worker displaying the flag as the car comes around. You can see once they get to the back straightaway, actually 2 pieces of communication happening in this piece of video. What's happening is the driver in that 13 car is indicating the 56 Piper Motorsports that's coming in behind him. He's telling him with that right turn signal on, he's telling him to pass on the right. So that's a communication that happens first with this flag, as we saw it displayed in the carousel. Then the driver of the 13 car, who is slower than the 56, turns on his right-hand turn signal. That tells the driver coming along behind him to go ahead and pass on the right. In the next piece that we have here, where we'll see a little section over in turn 12, we'll see the 28 car waving his hand vigorously in the air. He was displayed that move over flag as he came into turn 12, and he's waving his hand as we see Boxing Cat come around him. That's telling the driver of Boxing Cat, I saw the flag, I'm getting ready to get out of your way. Some excellent work by the drivers. Interestingly enough, Marvin, this year's event, over 50,000 miles were driven by all of the teams competing in the event. We had very, very few on-track incidents during this 24-hour period, mostly because of the use of these flags with the corner workers. Well, Marv, as we move on to this next flag, well, this is the one that nobody wants to see. Commonly known, I think it has a different name, but
yes,
it's pretty much known as the meatball flag.
The meatball. When you see this flag displayed, you know there is a mechanical issue with your car. You need to pull into the pit lane, repair this mechanical issue to the satisfaction of the safety stewards before they'll be able to be out on course again.
Moving on next, another flag that a lot of people are familiar with, the white flag.
Well, and one thing about the white flag is it is different in road racing than in NASCAR. So if you are a NASCAR fan, you know the white flag means 1 lap to go. It is totally different in road racing. The white flag means there is a significantly slower vehicle on course. This is put out if there's a wreck or if there's an ambulance. This will be displayed a couple of corner stations ahead, so you're aware that you're coming up upon a very, very slow moving vehicle, and be prepared to take whatever evasive action you need.
This flag, Marv, maybe even a little bit worse than a meatball flag. It just depends on the conditions. Tell us a little bit about the black flag.
Well, the black flag is when a driver has done a no-no. Now, actually, sometimes you get a warning. Sometimes they'll take that black flag and leave it furled and point it at you, and just like saying, no, 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 don't do that again, or they're going to call you in. Because if you get the unfurled black flag and you have to come into the pit lane, you will have to make a stop. The penalty will depend on the extent of what the no-no was, but you will have to spend some time at least in the pit lane, which would definitely hurt your possibilities within the race.
Well, Marvin, then we'll move on next to the last flag we've got on display here, and that, of course, is the red flag. The red flag is pretty universal in most forms of racing. That indicates that everything on the racetrack has come to a halt.